Now on BBC2, Penny Junor presents a travel show guide which was postponed last month.
Hello. By February, what most of us feel like is a bit of pampering and self-indulgence. And this week, that's just what we've got for you. Last year, more people than ever before checked into a UK health hydro for the day. But for not much more, they could have had a whole week at a spa in Eastern Europe. When Laurie Pike discovered that it cost £1 for a pedicure and about £5 for a facial, she was on the first plane out to Budapest. Hungary is sandwiched between Austria and Romania. Laurie began her journey in the capital, Budapest, home to the most spectacular spas, and then headed south to the small town of Havis on the shores of a natural hot water lake.
Ah, Budapest. All that throbbing history us Yanks could only ever dream of. A city of faded post-communist splendor, drifting as gentle as the Danube, through streets variously ruled by Romans, Turks, Germans, Russians, and sometimes even the Hungarians. Budapest is full of cultural influences brought on by 2,000 years of invading armies. Although the only invasion the Brits have managed so far is of the tourist variety. And there can be no better reason to come than to experience the city's famous spa waters. I've been a spa fanatic for years, and I decided it was time to make my own pilgrimage. The Gellert Hotel and Spa is perhaps the most famous. 1 million visitors a year take the waters, paying a little over £3 for an entire day, free if you stay in the hotel. The secret's in the hot, mineral-enriched waters, said to be the elixir of life. Hungarian doctors think nothing of prescribing rheumatic patients a dose of thermal water, though it's not just aching bones which get the spa treatment. Who needs a dentist? How about a thermal gum shower for healthier teeth? Breathing problems? Eased in seconds by a salt vapor shower. Not as popular as it used to be, but these are salt baths used by young women. They're supposed to help you get pregnant. You know what? Some other time. Outside the spas, Budapest is fascinating tourist country. It's a cinch getting around by taxi and tram, and it's a compact city. So whether you're sightseeing in Hero Square or having a meal on the banks of the Danube, you won't have far to go. So you've had your Hungarian goulash, you've had your carbohydrate-clogged 4-course meal. You still have to save room for a patisserie at a famous coffee house like this one. Hungarians love to eat, always with the excuse that they're going to the spa later to tone up. Next, I grabbed my costume and headed for the Széchenyi Baths. This is a glorious building designed to keep the turn-of-the-century rich in surroundings that fitted their high life. The water is a steamy 36 degrees, not too hot for Julie Tomasz, an American with Hungarian parents who moved here a year ago to work as a journalist. So tell me do young people go to the baths as much as old people do?
No, but I'm a young person and I've been coming and I see other young people, often actually they are couples, maybe enjoying being able to be closer together in public in the water or something.
Yeah, we just see a few make-out sessions.
Little make-out sessions, little murky water, you don't know what's going on.
If you have children and they don't fancy the thermal waters, most spas also have regular cold water swimming pools. The Gellert's outdoor bath even simulates crashing waves. But if you're looking for the real McCoy, the Lukács baths are the place to go. With no frills and very few tourists, it's a strange internal world of hissing steam, ornate neoclassical architecture, and that feeling of crawling back into the womb. Outside are the plaques donated by grateful bathers, whose miracle cures took them a little bit closer to eternal youth. After a few days in Budapest, I decided to leave the city and head southwest on a 3-hour drive to Lake Balaton. It's the second largest in Europe and Hungary's top tourist resort. Holidaymakers flock to the calm, shallow waters here, but I was headed someplace else, and I got my first view of it from the dizzy heights of a hot air balloon. Hevet, home of the largest thermal lake in Europe, where the Hungarians have naturally built a resort around its turquoise waters. Unlike Budapest, there's no fancy tile work here. Rather, it's the leafy natural surroundings that set the very relaxed pace. Well, one whiff and you definitely know you're here. The water is rich with sulfur and with Hungarian gold. Or should I say this? Black volcanic mud whose microparticles massage your skin into delightful oblivion. Visitors to Hevet can stay in specialist spa hotels near the lake or take the cheaper option, 15 minutes walk away, to the Hungarian equivalent of the guest house. Now this is my kind of a vacation. You get pampered on the cheap, hang out with the people who live here, and then you go home and you feel like you've done something for your health. I don't know if I believe in the miracle cure powers of the waters, but 10 million Hungarians can't be all wrong about how to spend a relaxing vacation. And you get to look at a lot of people nearly naked. I love that.
New Millennium offers a 2-center break to Budapest and Alsópahok near Hazes for the bargain price of £139 for 10 days by coach at the end of April. An alternative Eastern Europe destination is the Czech Republic. You can stay in the spa town of Karlovy Vary, about 2 hours drive west of Prague. A full-board 3-night stay in the thermal sanatorium will cost £152 per person until April the 30th. This is based on 2 sharing and includes use of all facilities. Flights and transfers are not included. In southern Poland is the spa town of Krynica. You can stay at the Continental Sanatorium full board for around £33 per person per night from May to September based on 2 sharings. Included in the price is an extensive range of treatments like mud baths and hydrotherapy. India is fast becoming a charter flight destination. First stop was Goa. Now the cheaper flights are going to the southern coast of Kerala. It has beautiful beaches, winter sun, and the added appeal of mile upon mile of calm backwaters. Musician Rick Wakeman took a houseboat to relax and indulge himself on his first ever trip to India. The state of Kerala is a strip running along the southwest coast of India. Rick flew into the ancient city of Cochin, floated through the backwaters along the Malabar coast to find party time in Trivandrum, and ended up at Kovalam, the paradise beach and old hippie haunt.
I've spent years conjuring up exotic images of India in my mind, but they don't come anything close to what I've experienced here in Kerala over the past few days. The first thing I noticed in the city of Cochin was people. Contrary to what you might expect, you'll see fewer beggars here than you would in most British cities, and it was certainly a lot more colourful. Kathakali is the Hindu equivalent of the pantomime. Mr. Devan, director of the leading troupe, explained what it was all about.
In Kathakali, characters are supernatural. So you find here the dancer, he has exaggerated everything, all the human features. At the human eyebrow, he makes bigger eyebrow, eyes bigger, face bigger, then ears bigger, and then he puts on the crown. This is the halo of the supernatural.
The coolest way to get from A to B is drifting down what are known as the backwaters, soaking up inspiration on the river version of the Orient Express. These natural canals go on for hundreds of miles, and this has got to be the way to see them. These houseboats were once used for ferrying rice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But they've poshed up a lot since then. You could sit here for days watching the world go by, and it does. The backwaters are the focus for local life. Everywhere you look, there's something interesting going on.
Bye-bye.
I could have drifted on forever here, only it was time for lunch and I'd arranged to meet a guest. Our rendezvous happened to be a local school, one of the many stopping off points along the way. What a reception committee. Well, I never realised my fan club extended quite this far. Take that, eat your heart out.
Isn't this really? Yeah.
Bina Joseph is a journalist who's come back to Kerala to visit her parents, and she's promised to introduce me to the finer aspects of the local grub.
Yeah, these all yours, are they? Oh, every single one of them.
The food here is usually quite mild.
It's lovely. I recognise some of this, but not all of it.
What do you recognise?
Rice.
Oh, right, okay, well.
I presume these are like sort of baby
Kerala versions of the poppadoms.
Poppadoms, yeah. And here we have...
That's beans, and that's cabbage.
Right.
It's called a thoran, which is essentially vegetables cooked with desiccated coconut and spices.
Oh, wonderful.
And big jumbo prawns, which are a specialty of the area because there's a lot of seafood and a lot of fish, which is good.
Could be an example to a few other places.
Kerala's not known as the land of coconuts for nothing. Palm trees are everywhere you look, and as well as being windswept and exotic, they provide an income for a third of the state's population.
So this stuff is?
This stuff is essentially the coconut husk. They sort of bury the husks in water for about 10 to 12 months. Apparently the salt content in the water makes it change colour. And then they separate the fibres and then they weave the stuff into the rope. And then the rope goes and becomes the mats and the carpets.
So pretty much they use all the coconut?
They can use every bit of the coconut tree and the coconut, in fact.
The whole village that works together and goes down to
the whole village works together and they go down and they sell to a cooperative society in the next town.
As evening approached, I headed for Trivandrum and the Onam festival. It looks and feels like Christmas, but then there's a lot of celebrating to do. It's not only been a good harvest, but it's also the end of the monsoon. Kovalam Beach may only be 16 kilometres from Trivandrum, but it feels light years away. A hippie hangout in the 60s, it's now a friendly mix of Westerners in search of the new Goa and Kerala families on a day out at the seaside. I felt a bit out of place in my own gear, so I decided to invest in a lungi. That's local speak for a sarong.
200. There you go. special deal. Thank you very much. A deal. A deal.
Journey's end, and I continue to chill out. Massaging with herbal oils is a major part of Ayurveda, the ancient health science of India. Just along the coast from Kovalam, here in Sumattiram, you can learn the rudiments of yoga and meditation, and 65-year-old Mr. Miranda is just the man to show you how it's done.
So that was Kerala then. I've had some wonderful experiences here, most of them very surprising. I mean, I always thought of India as Taj Mahal, the Himalayas, big bustling cities. I just never realised there was so much diversity in just one small part of the country.
You don't have to go as far as India to chill out. We've found retreats and other feel-good breaks closer to home. About 17 miles from Naples is the Italian island of Ischia. It has 300 thermal springs and 80 hotels offering a variety of feel-good treatments. Italian Escapades offers a 7-night stay in Ischia at the 4-star Grand Hotel Punta Molino from £680 half board plus transfers. Its health and beauty facilities include hydro massage and an indoor pool fed from a local spring. Back at home, Thorney Home Hall Health Spa near Clitheroe in Lancashire is an 18th century country house that has been converted into a health spa. You can treat yourself for the day for £55, including lunch, or alternatively a 2-night stay will cost £176 full board for a standard single or twin room with massage and facials included. Other treatments available include aromatherapy, wax baths and stress management. Harrogate in North Yorkshire has a rich spa heritage and has been a popular retreat since Victorian times. The Royal Baths Assembly Rooms are the focal point of this traditional spa town. The now restored Turkish baths are open daily. It costs £7 a visit, which includes use of steam room,